Y'all gotta do it if y'all wanna get it. We were born ready, yeah, and y'all gotta get it. Y'all gotta move it if y'all gonna get it. We were born ready, yeah, and y'all gotta
All
get
right.
it. Goddamn. Back to back to back to back with it. Y'all don't want it,
Silicone's
buddy.
coming off.
Looks like heaven, but it's not. It's episode 7. Ooh, dude, you didn't see that one coming, did you? He actually looked up. He was like, "What?"
God damn it.
That was
bro.
good, right? Dude, that's how we do it out here. Welcome to Respectfully Disrespectful, episode 7. We are back. I don't know why, but it feels like we didn't do this for a long time. I feel like I don't know. Even though we did this last week, it feels like too much time passed.
I don't know, dude. We're 53 seconds in and I'm sweating.
Yeah,
It's
so
hot, bro. What the hell's wrong in this room, man?
I feel like I'm fine. That might be like a medical problem.
I don't think so.
Did you hear about Biden?
Yeah, I did. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, I actually, I wasn't sure if you heard about it, and because that's like, you know, just like an hour ago
Yeah,
or 2
like
hours ago
everywhere
it came
an
out.
hour ago, yeah.
And like, you know, I did what I knew was gonna exactly happen. I went in the comments. I'm
Oh,
like, let's
no.
see. Yeah, I'm like, let's see how many, you know? Dude, like, I don't understand people. There were so many people who were just going crazy. It's like, oh, good, you know, hope he succumbs to it, you know, and all this. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, just because, like, you don't agree with the guy's, like, you know, politics and all this, his views, it's like, you're gonna wish death on somebody.
That's crazy.
And cancer, too, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for anybody who doesn't know, I think it broke like an hour ago that Biden was diagnosed with like prostate
Prostate.
cancer, but it was like aggressive, right? It was like
yeah,
the
that's what he
aggressive.
said.
So I don't know like how bad that is, because I feel like,
I mean, any type of cancer is just
well,
bad.
obviously, but that's why I didn't want to look at the comments, because I knew as soon as like that comes out, it's just gonna be people like good or something.
Yeah, no, that's what
It's
I
just
was
like, bro, he's
reading,
an
and
old
it's-
guy,
yeah,
like, why-
it's ridiculous. Just like, dude, there's like so much hate in the world, man.
Well, it's partially because people are just tribal. People get on teams and they, you know, you gotta go with your team to the very end. What I'm saying is, I think the big problem is that people like tribal. So if you're part of a team, you're gonna be riding that team forever. So like that's the big thing with politics. If your guy does something up, you're gonna just ignore it because that's your guy. And then if like their guy does something good, you don't acknowledge it because that's their guy. And like it's so weird because wouldn't you want good politics, or like I don't know, it's just so strange. It's the same thing with everywhere. It's sports, just human behavior in general. Everybody's very tribal, you know?
Speaking of tribal, you know, had that woman, Shia LaBeouf or whatever her name is.
It's not Shia LaBeouf, bro. Shiloh Hendrix.
Yeah,
Dude, the Shiloh Hendrix thing is so crazy.
dude, I watched that video, and for me, the craziest part was when the guy who was getting mad at her for saying that to a kid, he was like, you know, saying like, oh, so like that like warrants that kind of a reaction. And she said, well, if he's going to act like one. I was like, there's no way she just
Dude.
said that about a 5-year-old kid.
So for anybody who doesn't know, Shiloh Hendrix is this lady. I don't know what state she's in, but basically what happened, I think this was like a month ago, this guy starts recording her on a playground where he's like, oh, did you just call this kid the N-word? And she's doubling down. She's just like, yeah.
Well, actually, no. Hold on. You're forgetting that part in the beginning, which I thought was a very important part. As soon as he starts hitting record and he says that to her, she didn't actually say that. She was like, "What are you talking about?" Like she herself knew that what she did was wrong. That she tried to hide it in that very moment, in the very, very beginning.
But
The first thing she said.
But she then
She's just
started.
like, she's like, "What are you talking about?" And then started walking away. And then she's like, "You know what? I might as well own up to it." And then like doubled down.
Well, yeah, so she ended up doubling down, and she was just like, so this guy confronts her, and he's like, did you just call that little kid an N-word? And then she's like, yeah, well, he was being one. Which I thought was crazy, because
It's
like
a child, man.
it's a kid. Yeah, even if she cursed at the kid, I would have thought it was messed up.
It's a
But
playground, you know.
It's a playground, and I think the backstory is that kid who she said that to, like, supposedly stole diapers or something like that, or like he was messing with her
It doesn't matter, man.
And
Like, a
she
little doesn't
she yeah, she
matter.
ended up like saying a slur, and then the story gets crazy when she opens up a GoFundMe or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not on a GoFundMe. It was on some Christian website. I think
Did
it's
you
called
read
like
it?
yeah,
Did you
I
look
think
at
it's
the
called like
page?
Gifts and Go or something like that. It's like a Christian thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she titled it "Help Me Protect My Family." So I think the craziest part about it is usually when you're donating to things like this, there's like a reason, right? Something's happening. You're donating for a cause. This is what her thing says.
My name is Shia LaBeouf, and I have been put in a very
It's not Shia LaBeouf.
I have been put in a very dire situation. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Another man who we recently found out has had a history with law enforcement, boom, manipulation,
Yep.
proceeded to record me and follow me to my car. He then posted these videos online, which caused my family and myself great turmoil. My SSN has been leaked. My address, phone number has been given out freely. My family members are being attacked. My eldest child may not be going back to school, even where I exercise has been exposed. I mean, there's more, but
But so first of all, yeah, obvious manipulation. She's over here like, oh, this guy. It doesn't matter. Even if the guy is recording her, even if he was in prison, it doesn't matter. Like she's completely missing the point. And what's crazy about this? So at first, I think the goal was set for like 100,000 or 400,000. She then kept raising it because people kept donating, and now
this one I'm pretty sure.
yeah, the goal now is at 1 million, but she has had $782,000 donated to her. And what's crazy about this is donated for what?
Well,
She
for
says
relocation. But
that's not.
apparently,
She doesn't
yeah,
say that.
but apparently, no. Wait, hold on. When
Does
you press,
she say?
when you press to read more,
She says what she's gonna use it for.
he just got the screen black for a second.
You get just on his game today. He's just on it today.
He's overperforming, man.
Dude, he's
Overperforming.
on crack.
Yeah, they read more. I'm asking for you to help and assist in protecting my family. I fear that we must relocate. I have 2 small children who do not deserve this. We've been threatened to the extreme by people online. Anything will help.
Yeah, I'm sorry. To me that doesn't mean
$1 million. It's like what you need. You need like a little piece of an island or something. What the hell is this about?
Yeah, like she and that's the worst part is she's asking for money, but like again, she's not saying where she's going. She's not saying what else she's gonna use the money for, and she extended it. What is it? The family of the 5-year-old. Yeah, I mean we'll get to that in a second. So she made this GoFundMe because it's just on like a different platform. She has gathered almost $1 million. Hasn't really said where it's going. And the worst part is every time I see some kind of debate about this, it's people being like, well, freedom of speech. It's like that's not the point, because I guarantee you if this was like anybody else collecting money for nobody knows what, like what is she, how do we know? She's also acting very surprised, like this is what's gonna happen. Like, and I know what people are gonna say, right? They're gonna bring this to cancel culture and stuff like that. But the reality is you live in a society where like your words are gonna have an impact. Like that's just what it is.
So
like
he's scrolling through what I wanted to show you. You can see
the anonymous
yeah,
donations.
you can see like there's literally one person 3 hours ago who donated $1,000.
Hey man, God
and
bless.
read this update right here. Hold on, I think it was this one.
This was May 9th. This was literally a few days ago. Zoom in on that. Good morning. I would like to take this time to give all our wonderful supporters an update as to what has been happening with my family and myself. This past week has been so very stressful and complicated. Yeah, I'm sure. We have constantly been on the go, all whilst attempting to remain unseen. Again, just so vague. My children are handling things fairly well, I'm sure. Their father and I are trying to make this situation as fun and as stable as possible. They just do like racist exercises at home. Like what?
Oh my god.
We continue to receive harmful threats, but I'm confident that we are taking the proper steps in order to remain safe. I refuse to let harm come to my family. This fundraiser has truly been life-changing. Again, where has she said that they relocated?
Well, she's saying that they're constantly on the go.
Uh-huh.
What's it called? Yeah, I remember reading something where she was saying that where she lived got like vandalized and so she had to dip from there.
It's fine.
And all of this. Well, that's where I wanted to ask you a question with all of this stuff, like with the social security being leaked, the address and phone numbers and all this.
Yeah,
stuff.
she got doxxed. Essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Her place being vandalized, her running away and shit, all of this with kids and stuff.
Yeah.
You think her saying that though, she deserves all of this?
I don't think anybody ever deserves to get like things like that doxxed, right? Like if somebody's doxing your social security and address and phone number, there's a reason why they're doing it, right? Because somebody out there is gonna do something crazy, right? If you in America, like your social security is you could do a lot with somebody's social security. I don't think she deserves this, but I also don't understand why she's so surprised. She doesn't look. How old is she even? She doesn't look that old to me, and it's common sense.
She's like 38 or 36.
I mean, it's common sense at this point. Like, your actions have consequences. Like, I'm sorry, this is the real world. And, like, I'm not telling you that people should be doing this kind of stuff to other people, but this is just what's going to happen. Like, if I go to the park right now in New York and say something or do something crazy, and then I go online and I'm like, but I didn't, like, why would somebody be doing this to me? It's like, well, no public available information regarding her age. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. But
whatever. She's not an old person. Doesn't look old. She has kids, and no, I mean, obviously, I hope nothing like bad happens to them. But it's just, to me, it's confusing. Like, what did you think was gonna, like, how else would you hold someone like this accountable?
Violence ain't the answer, though.
Well,
you see, like,
obviously,
I like, that's like a whole like vigilante kind of bull. Like, people taking it upon themselves to see what, they see fit as punishment for doing things like this.
right?
And it's just like, we're nobody to decide. It's, there's huge agreement. I mean, like, that's just ridiculous. Like, saying something like that and acting the way she did. It's just, two negatives don't make a positive. That's all.
I just think it's crazy that so much money was rounded up, like, and the worst part, like I said, I've seen like so much debate about this, like freedom of speech and stuff like that. Yeah, no one's saying she doesn't have the right to say this, but it's kind of like actions have consequences, and your right for freedom of speech, you're going to be judged in the court of public opinion, and as a society, I think majority of people agree that you can't be doing this kind of stuff. So, what is this?
This is interesting.
Is this another GoFundMe?
Yeah, from
No.
the family of the kid instead.
Which kid? The kid that got called
Yeah.
They only raised... Nah, this can't be right. No. I know they have one, but they also opened up which is crazy. Yeah, so
What?
the family of the child who got called the slur, I think as a response, also did a GoFundMe, and they raised $340,000. Now, that's a lot of money, but it just goes to show you that in a clear situation where someone's right and wrong, although I also don't understand what they need the money for.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
What do you need
what?
300? Like, what do you need money for?
It's like my kid needs $340,000.
He
to
got
relax,
called a terrible thing. Yeah, what do they need money for?
Come on, man. That's at that point just stupid.
Yeah, everybody's just like baiting. It's too much. Like, it's crazy how much money is being raised off of stuff like this. Yeah, I mean, she's terrible. She's a terrible person, and I hope she relocates somewhere where they're safe and takes a good.
I hope she relocates somewhere where she could just be by herself, not around other people.
Yeah, because really, like, I could imagine what she's teaching her kids in this whole thing. Like, this terrible thing happened to us. And the worst part about it, too, is, like, she's doubling down. Even in her post, she was never like, it wasn't right. Like, because that's the thing. I would feel bad for her if she was like, I messed up. I said this terrible thing, and now people are harassing me. Then I would have been like, all right, like, you acknowledge that you're wrong, and, that's really all a person can do. Like, what can she really do? But she didn't even do that. She was just like, nah, they're coming after us. Send me money. Like, that's it. And now it sparked this debate about freedom of speech, which is, it's so annoying. All these, like, people on Twitter and, like, on social media who, as soon as something like this happens, because they want to like cover up their racism, they're just like, freedom of speech, you're attacking my freedom of speech. No one's attacking your freedom of speech. The KKK can go out and protest and like gather and stuff legally, because that's an amendment that you could do that. But guess what? If you take off your mask, there's a reason why they wear masks, is because you understand court of public opinion. People are going to see who you are, and they're not going to mess with you. Like, they're going to be like, I don't want to be around this person. Oh, you own a bakery? I'm not going to your bakery. Like, that's just common sense. Do what you want to do. Say what you want to say. But majority of people are not going to do that. Like, that's just all it is. And the fact that they're racking up millions of dollars over this is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Especially
that's
when
the dumbest part of it all.
Hey, man. I hear people complain about where money's going all the time, and then just a blatant like, send us money to. And that's the other thing, is like, in those states, I don't know which state she's in, but I know it's not like a New York or whatever. Like, if you go to a Midwest state, you could buy a whole house for like $300,000. You'd be fine. Change your name.
You could go to Ohio, buy
Ball
a house,
out.
like $300,000 for sure.
Yeah, you almost got $800,000. Ball out. Buy a house. Change your name, maybe.
Gated place, everything.
Yeah, I'm
You
sure
can
like
afford it with the money she already raised.
yeah.
I just don't understand that counter GoFundMe.
For the kid.
Yeah,
Yeah, what does that little kid need $300,000 for?
I don't understand.
Maybe we should do a
I feel like
GoFundMe.
they're probably, I mean, we didn't read the GoFundMe, but I feel like they're probably gonna try to spindle some shit. Be like, we're trying to get it for legal fees and all this shit. For what? For what?
That's the thing. Is that
You can't do anything.
is there even a case though? Like,
no,
legally?
there isn't. You just can't do anything.
Igor, how about we do a GoFundMe?
Seeking accountability.
Igor, how about we do a GoFundMe for all the donations will go to Vlad's tattoos. We'll see how much we could cover him up in tattoos with the GoFundMe money.
Yeah.
What about them? We'll send them like $5 for like a house or a church or something.
Nah, if you're one of our Indonesian followers, send us some money. I'll get tattoos for y'all. That'd be great.
Indonesia on your forehead.
Yeah, no, he's gonna across his back on the shoulders is gonna be like big in Indonesia.
But you know what? That would be like a funny thing to try. Like, you just gotta make it like some kind of like, the way that they try to manipulate people, you gotta do the same thing. Be like, I need to, because I have like, I'm not comfortable in my body, so I need to cover it up and all this, all that. Like, you gotta manipulate them and just see how much.
Well, you know why she did it on that Gifts and Go, whatever it's called, the Christian one, is because GoFundMe usually, from what I know, is when you do a GoFundMe and say you're raising money for cancer or something like that, you'll need like proof. You can't just go there and be like, I have cancer, send me money.
But on that Christian website, it's all based off good faith. Huh?
Yeah, it is. The guy who owns the website did a whole interview with Piers Morgan, and like they do. He was talking about how whoever opens a GoFundMe there, like a fundraiser, they pray with them and stuff. It's just like, she's like, I called a little kid a horrible thing in the park. All right, let's just gather around and pray to the Lord. Lord, protect this family. Crazy, man. America. I mean, it's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and I just, while we're looking at the difference between like which side has raised the most money, sit there and think to yourself, God, how many races there are out there compared to people seeking the justice.
Yeah, because it feels like if I had to make a choice who I'm donating to, if I have to make a choice who I'm giving my $10
yeah,
to.
there's no way that white woman's getting my money.
Yeah, I'm giving it to the kid. What do you mean?
I'm like, you know what you're asking for. Like, I don't, we live in the internet days.
That's the other thing. Somebody's recording you. Say you did it. Someone's recording you. You plead. You're like, huh?
Your life is over.
You're like, what? What? I did nothing. Either way, this Shiloh Hendricks thing is like crazy. I think it died down now because I checked the donations thing like a week ago and it was at like 700,000. So thankfully this I can't believe she made it almost to $1 million, but hey, don't ever threaten people, doxing. Look, she has kids. That's the other thing. Like if she was alone, then it's like, but
yeah, but this is such
this
a
kid's
bad,
suffering
but
because
still,
of this.
This is still such a bad lesson because, like, what happened? She said this word and she got money for it.
Well, red pill media, bro. Like, this is what happens. You're gonna get. You know what? Twitter was having a field day with this when she came out and said this,
She
bro.
acted crazy on camera, and she got a fat dollar for it. And now they can off and go live a damn life.
How many times have we seen that in America, though? The Island Boys, Jack Doherty, and like rage bait, man. It's the currency of the realm, is what it feels like. You checking the spike of donations?
No, the Google Trends search.
Oh, I'm sure it died down, but terrible lady. Be better. You know, you have kids. Why would you do this? Oh my God, man, crazy! What a crazy time we live in. I don't know. Almost $1 million because you decided to be a prick.
Like I said, that's a bad lesson. I mean, like, what's she gonna do at this point? She just knows that she can get away with this shit.
I mean, I seriously doubt she'll do that again, but yeah, you make a fat check.
She doesn't need to do it again. She made a fat check, dude.
Yeah, because you could technically, if you invest right and stuff, you could live off of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Everybody in Europe's like, if I go to America and
dude,
just...
yeah, I mean, like, I'm sitting here even thinking about
No,
it.
stop it.
I mean, like, if I could just go and do something that stupid and then go on a Christian website and be like, please help me, bro.
You'll never see Vlad on this podcast again.
Like that's insane. Like, that's just literally insane. I don't understand it, man. I don't understand it.
Oh my God.
And then the counter GoFundMe. I don't...
They're like, oh yeah?
Oh yeah? Dude, it's just so stupid.
Oh, dude. Whoops. Bro, my wisdom tooth has been killing me.
And why have you been holding off on that?
I don't want to get it removed. I'm too scared.
You're dumb.
Yeah. I'm too scared. I don't want to do it.
So
Dentists are like my
them,
fear.
So then tell them to just put you to sleep so you're not
No,
awake for it.
I'm scared to go to sleep.
Oh, yeah, you're not gonna feel a thing.
Nah, I
Dude,
know.
it's like 10 seconds long.
Nah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I can't. I saw what happened to you when that happened. Do you remember how we picked you up and you were all like I'm too scared to go to...
It's a little fake, but I do... Man, I remember when I, had my first 2 removed. I had all 4, and I just, not so long ago, removed another 2. But, what's it called? The first time I had ever done it, they put me under the anesthesia. So,
You loved it. They were like cute girls.
Dude, that's what I was getting to, though. But it was funny, man. I made a fool of myself because I remember when I woke up, there was like this nurse who was like, all right, I'll lead you to the room and stuff. And she's telling me to put my hand on her shoulder so that she can guide me through when like I can walk straight and all this stuff.
Right.
Being like an idiot, I'm like, I think I'm good, like I've done harder shit than
So you try to like do it on your own?
Yeah, and like no, I mean I was capable of it. Like it literally wasn't that like bad. But she's like, just do it. And I was like, okay, I put my hand on her shoulder. She brings me to this like dark room, and she sits me down, and I look at her, and I'm just like, you are so beautiful.
You said that to her?
Dude.
Bro, see, I don't want to say something crazy. I'm just too scared.
Yeah, I just looked at her, I'm like, you are so beautiful. And she just laughed, and she's like, you should feel better in a few minutes, and walked out.
You're like,
and
come
then,
back,
yeah,
sit on my...
And later, Jesus Christ. Then later on, I'm like, dude, did I really just fucking say that? Like...
You should have doubled down.
And I've never even been the type of person to do that. Like,
you should have said it again.
Approach people that kind of way. Never been the type to do that. So when I did, I was just like... So the next time that I got my teeth taken out, instead I was awake for it. Guy was just, foot on the chest. And...
I've seen too many videos, like back in the day when people would go, like after surgery and they would wake up and they would like, Mom, don't tell Mom. And I'm like, bro, I know too much. I don't want to hurt feelings. I know too much. I'm too scared of that stuff. I don't know if that's probably...
So be awake.
That's probably some... And what? See them put their foot on my face and like
dude,
nah,
it's
bro.
so fast, man.
It's
so fast. They took these 2 teeth out of me in like a minute and a half, maybe. It was so fast.
Here's what ruins every medical procedure for me.
It kind of hurt though.
Here's what ruins every single medical procedure for me. You'll talk to one person and they'll be like, dude, so quick. Boom, one shot. I get out. Yeah, you know, it hurts a little going back and like all that stuff. And then you talk to another person. Oh my God, bro. I woke up. They didn't know what's happening. It's like, I talked to a guy who had his wisdom tooth removed. They cut half of it. They couldn't get the other half out. Then they told him to come back in a week. He comes back in a week. They try to pull it out. They can't pull it out. Then they keep, and then I'm hearing this and I'm like, bro, that's my luck. That's literally my luck. I will show up and they're going to find cancer.
Well, listen, I don't know. They don't say that kind of stuff.
I hope not, but that's just my luck. It happens.
I mean, like the last
God
one,
forbid.
last one I did, one of them was partially fractured. So like I remember, you know, he broke it into pieces and was pulling them all out. So I don't know. Go to my guy. He did good.
Oh, bro.
He was very intimidating, and I kept thinking that I was pissing him off all the time. You know, he just doesn't seem like the kind of guy who enjoys his job. So it's like,
Oh, go to my guy. He hates being the dentist.
yeah, dude. I mean, he's an oral surgeon.
Bro.
There's no dentist.
You know,
see, because when I went to a dentist, they gave me a referral for an oral surgeon. It's not a dentist who pulled that out for you.
I know. Dude, well, I remember when I was in school and I never used the word oral before, like speaking wise. And I remember I got this form from school and they asked like something about parent information and said like oral. So I bring it back blank because I'm like, what is this? Miss Jones comes up to me. She's like, oh, you didn't fill this out. And I'm like, what does oral mean? I was like, what do you mean by oral? She's like, what language do they speak? I'm like, oh. I was like, thank God. I was like, what?
Terrified he was about to have to blow somebody.
No, listen, dentists, I honestly have like a big fear of dentists. And one thing I don't get, this
Just
happens.
Stop being a pussy.
Dude,
Do
listen.
you understand how bad that kind of pain like is?
Yeah, it's awful.
Teeth pain is one of the worst.
The
pains.
worst. There's nothing worse than like
So
tooth
get
pain.
it out.
Nah, man. I need a struggle in my life.
Are you at least like putting anything on it?
Nah. Listen.
Dog, I'm telling you,
Hold
there
on.
was this cream. I'll sell it to you.
I'm not buying no cream.
You want this cream?
This is what every
know
dentist
this.
does, right? You go to the dentist because you either have a problem or you're doing like a routine checkup, right? You go to a dentist and this is what they do. Oh, what's going on? And you're like, bro, why do you think I'm here? These motherfuckers act so surprised when you have cavities. It's like, bro, I live off of Twix bars. What do you think will happen to me? Every time I'd go, bro, the last time I was at a dentist, well, when I had like a big dentist, like a trial in my life, I was talking, I don't want to bring his dumb name up, but I was talking to Luby and he was like, hey man, just make sure it's not a root canal because that's the worst. Go to my dentist. I'm like, oh, so what are we doing today? He's like, I have like 3 root canals. I'm like, I was like,
I mean, a root canal ain't fun, but
I was like, and then I start texting
I've
Luby.
had
I'm like,
3 of them done.
I'm like, dude, I have 3 root canals. He goes, oh no, dude, and I start freaking out, bro. It's terrible, bro. Listen, if it was up to me, people would have no teeth. They not talk like this. It would be hilarious, but it's a must, man. When I have my kids, I'm gonna
strip their teeth off?
Nah, bro. They're gonna be brushing 6 times a day. Cause you know those you know what I think will help me? Cause look,
My kids will be better. I'll do 7.
I'm gonna be an honest boy. I sometimes forget to brush before bed, and you know sometimes I feel like if I get one of those vibrating toothbrushes, I need something fun. You know how you motivate little kids to brush their teeth? You get them a cool gadget, like it plays music or something.
Oh, dude, those were the though.
Dude, I'm telling
those
you,
were the
those are the
man.
best. Those toothbrushes that have like they vibrate and like, oh, dude.
Yeah, you'd be in there for like 7 minutes, man.
And every dentist, I promise you, I will put money down. If you're watching this, I will bet you money. If you brush every single day and then you go to a dentist, the dentist he's gonna go, You're not brushing good enough.
Dude, you can spend $40,000 on veneers and go to a dentist just for the hell of it. Be like, too white.
He's gonna be like, "Are you brushing enough?
Something going on. You're brushing too much."
Are you flossing?" That's another thing, bro. Flossing, crazy. Putting a little, no, I can't. Well, so I need to go, but I'm too scared. You know what I'm waiting for? Something bad to happen.
It's stupid.
I know. I'm just like that. I wait till the worst moment, and then I show up, and they're like, "You've been walking around like this?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You should have been dead last week." Like I pulled up once to a dentist when my cheek was swollen. Yeah, I pull up. I'm like, "Here, man, help me. My tooth hurts so bad." He's like, "Yeah, well, you have like pus there, and it could have went to your brain." And I'm like, "Can you please help me?" Dude, you know what I mean? It's just I'm a bad little boy. What do you want me to do?
It's not good.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. The dentist, it's so hard to find a good one too. I feel, I don't know. Everybody knows a guy. Go to my guy. He's so good. And then you show up and it's Dede Boire or some like I don't know.
You got it though. You got it.
I also signed up for 2 classes in the summer for college because I want to go back to school. And I think it's gonna start up in like 2 weeks, and I'm getting this like weird anxiety. I remember when I was like not a freshman, but I was like in college, like regular age for college, and I would have these like older people, and I mean like 40-year-olds in my classes occasionally, and I would look at them and I'll be like, "Hey man, good on you. You're like getting a degree. That's cool. Like you're never too old to get an education." And now I'm like, for some reason, I mean, I'm not that old, but I'm like, oh man, I don't know. I feel stressed about doing school again. Even though I don't think it's challenging. I just think like getting back into it and stuff. Like, I don't know.
For me, school always just felt like a waste of time.
Well, that's
But-
because you were jumping around.
Well, it's just like, yeah, but I kept feeling like a lot of things kept repeating themselves, and that's when I started getting pissed off. I was just like, dude, like, what is this? You know,
Like what?
I remember when I got into college, right? And what's it called? When I was in my English class, first one I ever had, professor was introducing herself and started talking about what the course is going to be.
Right.
He's like, you know, in the semester we'll be really working on you guys' MLA format. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just spent 4 years in that school before.
Did you hear that?
Oops.
No, what?
I just spent 4 years doing that, dude. They even try to throw me into AA format or whatever the that is.
Alcoholic Anonymous format?
Yeah, you know, it's like, I did this shit, you know? Why the are you making me do this all over again? And it's just like, I mainly speak about, like, the English
Well,
subject, even though it's like everything, dude. Everything started becoming the same. Taking this pointless information about this and that, this and that, this and that, then explain the entire dilemma, then they'll talk about this, and talk about this story, and talk about this and then that, explain the dilemma, write a give me a 6-page paper about this question, this and that. It just started getting all repetitive. Everything was the same, and I'm like, I'm not gonna use this in my life. Never will I use any of this. So, you know, it's like, for me, the big shift in my life when I was 17 and I got my first job. And once I had earned my first paycheck, I remember it being this very like powerful moment. It was only like $600 or something like that.
Yeah.
And but still, you know, 17, so that was a lot of money for a teenager.
Yeah, you have like no expenses. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
exactly. So I'm just like, once I got money, I just, you know, everything changed for me right at that moment.
You're like, I don't need this.
Well, it's like, you know, and I had gotten that job through a connection. You know, that wasn't through school, nothing like that. And it's like, same thing with my current job. I've gotten it through a connection. And it's just like, obviously that just like worked for me. But, you know, I've always felt like, you know, education is definitely important. Like, for example, if you're trying to go into a specialized field where,
Like a
yeah,
like
where
a
you
doctor
literally
or
need
something.
it, you know, kudos to you. I don't got the patience for that.
Your dentist is just like, you know, I was just like, who needs school? Like, I'll just learn on YouTube.
Yeah, so it's just like, but I don't know. I feel like, you know, this world is just such a, well, country, especially when you like live in a city and all this, just such like a corporate world. So it's like, it's really just about who you know. That's literally how I feel, because it's just like, you will get out of school and they'd be like, oh, but you don't have these qualifications. How was I supposed to get it? You know, it's like, well, you don't have it, so I can't really help you. And it's just like, they want experience out of you, but you're not even being offered a job in the first place. So how are you supposed to obtain that experience? It's just such a stupid little rat race that they've created. And you know, even when that's, and my point that I'm saying is, even when you go through the education process, get your degrees and in the end of it, you still need something. You need somebody really to put you there. It's not something that like, oh, I have this piece of paper, I'm good now. It's like, just take me. It's like, nah, man. The most important thing is people skills in our world.
Yeah.
It's just people skills. You know how to get around, you know how to fucking talk, you know how to do all of that.
But
you can set yourself a golden path.
But here's the thing, like, I've heard that meme a lot about like they want everybody with experience, but how are you supposed to get experience? I don't know if that's fully true. I think a lot of it is like how you sell yourself. If you go on a interview for a job, right? The whole point of that interview is you selling yourself. But you have to be like smart with it, because they obviously know that you're going to be selling yourself. So the whole point is about being honest. And like, I've had I think I'm like sort of lucky, and I'm also like smart about it. Every interview I've had so far for a job, they've all called me back and wanted me to go. I had an interview where I told them, I was like, look, I don't know a lot of this. I want to learn, and I'm down to work for free for like 2 weeks for you to see if like you want me to be part of this. And like for them, that shows them that you're confident in what you're doing. And then when you go about school, right? People skills. A lot of people learn people skills through school and through college. Like, that's where people socialize the most, right? You
No,
are
yeah, I wasn't talking about like school in general. I meant higher education.
but that's also like, obviously, if you want to go into like plumbing or something like that, like, you're not gonna go to traditional college. Like, I mean, I might be wrong, but I don't see why you
No,
would.
that's trade school.
But if you're gonna go, like, look, you know, if I have a kid and my kid needs a specialist, right? If it's for speech, if it's psychological stuff, like, say there's somebody who's really good at this, but they don't have the qualifications. As a person, I would want qualifications. I would want to talk to somebody who's like, I finished school in Cornell and I've worked with this place and this place. I want to hear that, to know that I trust this person to do this. I could take the gamble and go with the guy who's never done this, or who says he's good, but like there's nothing to back it up. But that's why portfolio is so good, because you can do that. But that's another skill that is so difficult to like get young people to do. Like, I didn't do it. Like, I think Igor's sister's doing that. She has a really good portfolio. She's like doing a lot of stuff, and that's like so smart. Like, I wish I was doing that. I wish when I was in school, somebody sat me down and was like, yo, like, everything you're doing right now, every year, it's going to fly by. So do small things everywhere. So that way, like, when you're moving on, it's going to look really good.
I take photos of our jobs all the time. Collect the...
Yeah, see, that's yeah, you gotta do stuff like that and be smart about it. I don't think school is for everybody, and I don't think school is the most important thing. But obviously, like, it was a very popular thing for people to be like, well, look at Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs and stuff. Anomalies. Like, those are anomalies, people who made stuff. Like, you know, yeah, anybody could invent something, but come on, like, how difficult is that? But obviously, if you're going to go to a hospital, you're not going to want a guy who's like, oh, he's doing heart surgery, and he's like, yeah, I saw this, like, put on a tutorial.
I bought this course.
Yeah, I did a course on Discord. Like, what? What are you talking about? I want you to be in medical school, bro. I want you...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the obvious ones.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about like regular people, like Little old you, little old me.
I think it's just, I think a big problem that our generation has, and even the younger generation has, especially when it comes to school and jobs and stuff, is like, this is gonna sound really weird, but I feel like when people don't have a choice, life is a little easier. When my parents didn't have a choice and they had to go do this job or they had to do this, it sucks, but they're not left there being confused and not knowing what to do. They have one choice. We are in a privileged situation where it's like you're standing there and there's a road and there's so many like pathways. You could go left, right, you could go anywhere you want. And then you're just sitting there and you're like, I don't know what I want to do. Like, okay, I'll try this. Okay, I'm not sure. What if I want to do this? And a lot of people just end up either leaving, or how many people do you know who went to school and then they work jobs that have nothing to do with their degrees? I feel like that happens all the time. And that's just because people, like my dad told me that when I was younger too. He was like, listen, go to school before you get a job, because as soon as you get a job, you're not going to want to go to school. He's like, as soon as you get money, when you're like 20 and you get paid like $1,000 or like 1,500, you're going to feel like, whoa, I don't want to go to school.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, you just, you wouldn't want to, because like, I could start working now. What I need to like do that for?
Yeah, but I mean, there's obviously like the bad way you can do it, but as long as you grab life by the balls, you gotta have a plan. You gotta work towards it.
I know, but you're asking for 18-year-olds to have a plan. You know what I mean? Like, it's...
That's why I think kids should start working at a younger age.
Bring Indonesia here. No,
just get that mindset in their head faster. A lot of naive kids out there now.
I don't know if it's like a school thing, but it feels like, yeah, you hit 18, and that's why I always felt like those army recruiter guys, that show up in high schools and they're like talking to the boys and the girls and they're like, hey, think about joining the army. It's a little predatory. Like you're talking to people who are a little scared. They're about to leave high school, become an adult, and they need to make choices like right now.
Well, yeah, I always like said that the system, how they do it, it's so stupid. You get these young people finish, their K-12 education, and maybe some of them have like an idea in their head of what they want to do. But in these schools you go through in K-12, they do nothing to help you come to that decision before you even get into college.
Yeah.
You understand? And then you get into college, and in your first year, you're like, or while you're even signing up for that college, you got to know what you want to do. Otherwise, you're sitting there and you're wasting your time.
Well, they usually, I know in college, they'll give you like the first, like I think a year or two where you could do those like
the core.
Yeah, the core stuff where you could take an intro to this and an intro to that. And I guess that's cool, but all I'm saying is I think it'd be cooler and just more beneficial if in school you would have some kind of guidance to these things, like not everybody,
like, they want to shovel down text down your throat for all these years when they can't even do like a workshop like once a month or something like that.
Yeah.
Kind of gives you an idea. You try a little bit of this, you learn something about that, and all this stuff. Like, I don't know, I'm sure you would remember this, but you ever had a situation where like you're in class, you're a kid, and they would bring like a firefighter or a cop into the class?
Yeah, to talk to you guys.
They don't do that.
What happened?
They don't do that no more.
No, what do you mean? I had that when I was like in, I don't know, 9th grade or something.
I don't know, because
your brother and sister they've never had like a...
I was like, what, dude? You've never been visited by Tom from the fire station? Like, what the
Whoa,
yeah.
Dude. That was like the coolest thing ever. Some cop shows up and he's like, well, kids, stay in school.
And then exactly, but it's like they also hold a very important, crucial moment right there. When that person talks about it, what they do and all of this stuff, there's a few kids in that room that he possibly inspires
100%.
and creates this whole notion in their head. They're like, you know what? Like, I want to be a hero too, and all this stuff.
You know what they need to do? They need I know not everyone would participate in this, but imagine how cool it would be if do they still do the thing where like bring your like parents show up in class and they don't, bro, like that's cool when a parent shows up to class and tells the class what they do for like a job as a career and stuff.
I think too many parents fought against that though.
That's so dumb though.
I got no time for that. I gotta work. That's what this city is, man.
Yeah, but like,
time is money.
Okay, record a
money is
video.
time.
Record a video. Have it be a class assignment. Have your parent record a 5-minute video about what they do. Like something, bro. Like something to tell.
Dude, you know that's not gonna like. This is just not gonna go well.
Just a parent rolling up a.
Alright, so
he's like, stay in school.
So you take this, right? You gotta put on the scale, put it in the bag, right quantities, right amount, everything. No, it's bad. Like it's
Pablo Escobar is on camera, like, stay in school, kids.
I mean, I'm also just talking from my experience. It's not like I had like, you know, when I was a kid, parents really helping me with assignments and stuff like that.
I know,
so.
but I still like feel it happens a lot. I mean, but maybe we are talking. Maybe it's not a relatable thing. I don't know. I just feel like I know too many people who either have the opinion that school is useless, like college and stuff like that, or they don't know what direction they want to go in, and that's like because there's just too many.
Yeah, I always think back to my experience. Just like I had not known at all, you know, what I wanted to do with my life. Like I was working in a hair salon, dude. You know what I mean? Like just
Really?
out of pure just out of pure connection. But it's like I hated it. Like
What?
it wasn't something I wanted to do. It just
You enjoyed being there.
No, I didn't, dude. Like I didn't. Like
You got free haircuts.
okay, that's about it. But I also knew that it came with another, you know, thing behind it. And it's just like, what's it called? It's dude. It's I didn't like it. I was eye candy.
I think you think that now, but in the moment you did like being there.
You see, it was for me back then. It was like a comfortable job.
So many years I've never heard you say you
But
didn't like
then-
being there.
But then, that's kind of strange because I always, you know, wanted some alternative. But anyways, not to indulge too far into the point. Yeah, it was like a bad job to have, like mentally. It wasn't a good job. So like I wanted an out, you know.
I was gonna send this to Jeff, and now I'm just like, well, never mind.
Never mind. No, I hated that. I mean, he knew. Doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll send it to Jeff.
But it's like, why did I even start this whole rant?
Well, I was talking about direction, how people don't know what they want to do. And
Oh,
then you said-
exactly. Yeah, I mean, like I myself didn't know. So at the same time, I was in college, right? And it's just like in the first year, I was like, all right, let me just try business management or something. And then they fucking threw all this math at me.
accounting and stuff.
I was just like, bro, fuck this.
This guy, let's do business management, and he's like, oh, you gotta do math.
I was just like, yeah, but it's just like, I felt so. I was like, fuck this, man. Like, I'm not even interested in this. That's the main point, though. It's like I'm not like this. This isn't appealing to me. Then in my second year, I tried music composition, and I actually loved it. It was like for the first time in my K to 12, I felt like I was not K to 12, but like in all of my I meant in all of my time in education. It was the first time that I genuinely felt like I was grasping some good knowledge that I felt like could do something for me.
But that's because it was like a hobby you were passionate about.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like, you know when a teacher gets you when you got your hand on the chin and you lean in. So it's just like I did that when this one professor was explaining, you know, how to read a music sheet. And once he explained that, I was just like, whew. you know, and I just it felt great. So then I started.
Connected.
So I started like paying attention really hard in that class, and I loved it. It was a great class. My favorite like thing to do was to learn about music. But then I was just like, all right, Earth to Vlad, like this isn't a money thing. Like you got to get
Yeah,
money.
you're not gonna
Yeah, I was
go
like,
to
you
school
gotta-
for the degree in music.
Yeah,
It's
I
just-
was like, you got to get money. Like this isn't a money thing. This is fine. Like it's fun, but so then in my third year, tried communication art, like whatever.
wait. Communication art?
Yeah, it was like communication arts or something. That's what it was called. And I was just like, because dude, there was like they gave me this guidance counselor.
Oh, I love those guys.
Yeah, who was trying to help me figure out a career path.
Guy
like-
who doesn't know you.
Dude, yeah, and she was just like starting to get sick of my shit, you know? Like I would be sitting there, like we had like multiple sessions
Vlad was just on the bed like
on a
this.
Zoom call, yeah, because this was during COVID. We had multiple Zoom sessions, and like, you know, that's when she gave up. She's like, maybe just try communication arts. I'm like, what was that? She's like, well, it kind of gets you a job everywhere. And I was just like, so I was like, you bitch, man, you couldn't care less about me, man. I can hear it from your voice.
She was like, just f off.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame her. It was like maybe 3 calls in total where we were trying to figure this
Oh
out.
no, she was doing
Just
her
like
job.
just like an hour. Well, yeah, it was like an hour session, and I'd be like, I don't know, and I wouldn't commit to the idea. Then like a day or two later, same thing. I don't know, you know. She's like, maybe just do communication arts, you know, already. So it's just like, and I'm just doing this shit, and I'm just like, bro, what the like this is dumb. Like I feel like for me it was just like I felt like I was just wasting my time because I didn't know what the I was doing, what my passion was, you know, as a kid and all this
Yeah.
and they just throw that at you. I feel like it's done so wrong. You just create people who are miserable, who get stuck in a job because they ended up going to school for 4 years, learning about one thing, specializing in that, and ruined their life because they thought that this is what they wanted.
Yeah. And then, so Vlad endorses school. On that note, please stay in school, because that way you will have a decent enough education and brain cells to like, comment, and subscribe, and send this to your grandparents.
And you'd have the brains to not buy a camera that constantly overheats.
Not me. College educated. Still bought the camera. Thank you for tuning in another week.
We were born ready, yeah, and y'all gotta get it.
Peace
Y'all
out.
gotta move it if y'all gonna get it. We were born
Like
ready,
that.
yeah, and y'all gotta get it. Goddamn, back to back to back to back with it. Y'all don't want it, buddy. Y'all just be capping and the moving steady batting, but y'all can't hit it. Y'all was born rats and